you want to know how much your agency clients are actually worth? In this short 7-minute video, I'll show you how you can actually calculate your LTV. We're going to be going over what LTV actually is, the numbers you need to actually calculate your LTV, the formula you need to actually calculate your LTV, and then if we have time, I'll also quick fire 7 different ways you can actually improve the LTV in your agency. Let's get straight into it, guys. We don't have much time. So lifetime value is again just a fancy number to show you how much a client is actually worth your agency. There's two different ways you can calculate this. You can either calculate this from revenue, which is just the money that the client actually pays you, or profit, which is actually what you make from the client. When calculating LTV for your agency, I always recommend using profit, and it's the same thing that Alex Amosi recommends. But honestly, guys, the actual formula itself is the same thing, so don't stress too much. Just pick one and go with it. So the formula to actually calculate LTV is very simple. In this case, I've got LTGP, which is lifetime gross profit. But again, it's the same thing. You can swap this out with revenue. And the equation is very simple. LTV is equal to 1 divided by a churn times by our gross profit. So in this case, we need 3 different numbers to actually calculate our LTV. First things first, we need our revenue. This is the total income a business generates from selling its goods or services before deducting any expenses. So for example, if you sell a 5K retainer for your marketing services, then your revenue in this case will be 5K. This is revenue per client, guys. The next thing we need is gross profit. This is just the profit that you make from actually having a client. Let's say your revenue is 5K and it costs you 1K in cost to actually deliver that client every single month, then your gross profit will be 4K. In this case, you don't want to count every single cost, just the cost of actually delivering that service. And the third number we need is churn, which is basically the percentage of your client base which you lose every single month. Now, in this case, they use it specifically for agencies. So I'm going to assume that most of you run a sort of retainer model. If you have any sort of one-off project work, or for example, PIFs where people pay 3 months, then your churn rate can just be 3 months, if that makes sense. The only reason we use churn in this equation is because we want to figure out how long someone's actually staying with you. So if you already have your retention in months, you can just substitute in, but churn is usually the easier way to do that. I've got a whole video going over churn. I literally just recorded it now. If you want to see that, check it out here. Very simply, you just want to get the number of clients that left during a specific period, which in this case will probably be a month, and divide that by the number of clients at the start of the period. So let's say at the start of the period, I've got 1,000 people. 30 days after, I've got 800. My churn rate is 20% because 200 people have actually left me. These are only 3 numbers you need to calculate your LTV. Let's go over some examples. LTV is 1 divided by churn times by gross profit. So let's say I've got a marketing agency and I've got marketing services for 5K. I've got a 10% churn and I have a $1,000 cost of goods sold, which is basically how much it actually costs me to deliver the specific services to a client. My LTV will be 1 divided by 0.1, which is my churn rate over here. And then all I have to do is times that by my gross profit, which in this case is 5K divided by 1K. And then I get a lifetime gross profit of 40K, which is actually very, very good, especially for this kind of high ticket offer. And that's pretty much it. Now you just want to calculate this with your agency. Just calculate how much a client pays you every single month, minus the actual cost of delivering to that client, and then just divide that by your churn rate, which if you don't know how to figure out, you can use this very, very simple formula over here. I've got a whole video going over how you can calculate your churn in 5 minutes over here. One secret sauce I actually got from Homozy when it comes to calculating your LTV is how to factor in upsells, because right here we're just factoring in that 5K retainer. But let's say, for example, you upsell someone, how does that actually work? So very simply, when it comes to upsells, you just need to include the added LTV, and the added LTV is actually used by calculating the upsell take rate, so the percentage of people that actually convert to the upsell, times by the upsell gross profit. So how much gross profit you make for every single upsell. So for example, let's say 20% of people actually take on the upsell and it brings you in $100 or $1,000 in profit, then your added LTV would be $200. Then all we want to do to actually figure out our total LTV is add our base LTV we calculated earlier and just add in a new added LTV, and we'll be good to go. And that's pretty much it. That's how you can calculate LTV. If you want to stick around, I'm going to show you why this actually matters in your agency. LTV shows you how much a client is worth to you throughout the whole entire lifespan of them actually working with your agency. This actually matters because first things first, if you make more per client, you make more money. The second thing is if you make more per client, you can spend more to actually get them. Let's say you have an LTV of 40K, like the examples we used here. You can afford to spend 20K on actually getting that client because you know in the long run it's going to be worth it. And thirdly, if you make more per client, you can spend more to actually serve them. So you can actually give them a better experience. So not only can you afford to actually spend money to actually get them, but you can also afford to spend money to actually serve them, which will in turn give them better experience and also improve your reputation, which is a massive win. But just to summarize, if you increase your LTV, then you'll make your clients worth more, which is a massive dub because you'll earn more as well. And before we run out of time in this video, I'm going to quick fire 7 different ways you can actually improve your LTV. The first way is upsells. Upsells is basically when you sell more of what they've already bought. So different ways to do this: you can sell a faster version of what you just bought, you can sell a safer version of what you just bought, you can sell a done with you / done for you version, or you can just sell a better version of what they just bought. So for example, if you're a lead gen agency and someone's buying marketing services, rather than having 1 campaign running, you can sell them 2 campaigns running. You can add in some sort of guarantee. The second way to increase your LTV is just have recurring revenue. I'm not going to talk about this too much because most people watching this are an agency model and your whole business is based off recurring revenue. But if you don't have it, definitely introduce that. The third way and most common way you can actually decrease your LTV in your agency is decreasing churn. This is what the channel is all about. This is what all of our products to our clients are about. Decreasing the churn rate will actually allow you to keep your clients longer, which in turn will increase your LTV. This is a massive win, quite obviously. And if you don't really know your churn rate and you're tracking on a regular basis and trying to improve it, then this will be a massive unlock for allow you to give your clients better experience and make more money in your agency. The fourth way you can improve your LTV is cross-selling. This is different to upselling. You're not selling more of what they just bought. You're more so selling different additional services to what they just bought. In a lead gen agency example, you can maybe sell a call center for an extra $400 a month, or wherever it may be. You can sell a CRM. It's something that's related to what they initially bought. This diagram explains it very well. The fourth way you can increase your LTV is very simply just raising your prices. Even a 5%, 10% increase in your prices will pay off in your LTV, which again will make you more money. The sixth way you can increase your LTV is by changing your billing to annually. So rather than charging people every month, you can charge them every annually. You can obviously do this in 6 months, 3 months, doesn't really matter, but just basically increasing or decreasing the cadence that you actually charge your clients, because that will decrease your churn rate. And the seventh and last way you can actually improve your churn rate is through downselling. And this is more so for people that don't accept the offer because it will just improve your general average. So guys, that's pretty much it. We're just going over how to calculate LTV, why it actually matters, and a very, very quick fire of 7 different ways you can actually improve it. I will be releasing a video very shortly going over a much, much deeper breakdown of how you can actually improve your LTV. So if that sounds interesting, make sure to subscribe. Two more things I want to say before I let you go. This is a snapshot of your current LTV. I recommend tracking it on a regular basis to see if it's increasing or decreasing, depends on different changes you're actually making. And then the second thing I want to tell you is that there are other metrics you should track, not just LTV. So different things like churn, the upsell take percentage, your number of cash collected percentage, your CAC. There's a lot of different numbers you actually want to track. LTV is just one of those numbers. So don't use this as your sole indicator of your agency's success, because there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, which in a space we call secondary metrics. And that's pretty much it. That's how you can calculate your churn rate. If this video is valuable, make sure to subscribe and check out the rest of our content. We have so many different videos going over how you can actually increase the LTV in your agency at scale. So if that sounds interesting, then check out these videos that YouTube is going to suggest. And that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.